June is over, July is here, and as we find ourselves about 72 hours away from the 250th anniversary of America's first chapter, the Saints, Dylan, are looking to start a new chapter themselves here tonight. Some positive takeaways from the first month or so of the year, but by and large, a 6-13 record, not going to cut it, and the Saints are at the moment outside the playoff picture here tonight. My name is Max Langer, alongside my broadcast partner Dylan DeCesare, and Dylan, for the Saints, 2 games left tonight and tomorrow evening to try to get right and get the ball rolling before the All-Star break. A rough showing in basically every aspect yesterday against the CCL leading Foresters, and the good news is it can only pretty much go up from here tonight as the Saints beat the Barons for already the 4th time this season here in Pasadena.
Yeah, 22-2 loss yesterday versus Santa Barbara, and the Barons are on a great win streak. It's going to be an interesting one, a really close one, but this is all for that 3rd spot in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Big game coming up here for the Saints. They are 5 games behind the Barons in the standings as they look to rally. We'll take a break for the national anthem and come back with the first pitch. Barons and Saints here from Pasadena. Max Langer alongside Dylan DeCesare. And the Saints, who really struggled yesterday, going to look to bounce back here tonight against the Barons team they've already played 3 times this season. Barons 2-1. Saints took the first one, the second game of the season, first road game for Arroyo Seco in Compton, 6-5. They blew a 5-run 9th-inning lead a couple of weeks ago and lost it 12-10. And then lose 14-1 on the road in Compton to the Barons last Wednesday.
Yeah, and that kind of loss that they blew in the 9th is really the difference maker for the Barons. And since then, they've been on a hot track, 11-8 in the CCL, 3rd in the South. Eventually, at one point, or 4th in the South. At one point, we're 3rd in the South above the Oaks, and the Saints are 5 games behind that. This is kind of the turning point. We talked about it this weekend at SLO. That was the turning point. This is a must-win game if the Saints want to turn around their season. Only 3 days away from All-Star break.
The moral victories and silver linings part of the season is over. Now it's all about getting the W. Let's take a look at the lineup the Saints will face. It's Eiji Sawamura, the center fielder, leading it off for the Barons. David Aguirre, the second baseman, hits second. Nick Sanders, the catcher, in his 4th game in the CCL, is batting 3rd. Del Villar, the CCL's leading home run man, is hitting in the cleanup spot with Nathaniel Williams, who is 2nd in the CCL in RBIs, hitting 5th. Elijah Clayton, the leader in the CCL in stolen bases, hits 6th. Lujan, the DH, hit 7th, with Jackson Tyler in left field batting 8th, and Chip Mertz in right hitting 9th. On the mound for the Saints tonight, Edwin Segovia.
Segovia, only his 3rd game, and he's kind of been that midweek guy. He's pitched on 2 consecutive Tuesdays and back-to-back weeks. This one is first Wednesday start, but can go for length. His first outing was 5 innings pitched. Last outing was 4 innings, or rather, it was the other way around. First outing is 4 innings pitched. Last outing is 5 innings pitched. So he has that length, a fastball changeup guy, 9 innings pitched on the whole year, 3 ERA, 6 strikeouts. So they really want some solid length out of him and don't really want to feed into the bullpen too much. There are a couple guys hot and ready, but Segovia, he's been pretty solid since he came and started wearing a Saints jersey.
Absolutely. 3rd appearance on the year. First 2 have been against affiliate teams. This one against an in-conference opponent in the Barons in a game the Saints really need to win. 5 games behind the Barons in the standings as they look to make a push here in July and get into the postseason. Sawamura stepping up to the plate from the left side. And almost all set to go here at Jackie Robinson Field in Pasadena, California. 5:41 your local time. And a crisp 71 degrees here in Southern California.
beautiful day for some CCL baseball, Max.
Sawamura into the box, Segovia ready to go, and off we go with a first pitch fastball outside for ball one.
And you'll see with many guys in the league, they're always going to start with that fastball, command with that, and then work off that. And Segovia has that changeup he'll go to, and then has kind of a cutter which backs up on him and kind of falls off a table. It's interesting.
Sawamura swings the 1-0 and launches it to right center field. That ball will bounce and one hop off the wall. Sawamura's got a ton of speed. He's into second base with a leadoff double, and on only the second pitch of the game, Sawamura has an extra base hit, and the Barons quickly in business here in the first against Edwin Segovia.
It didn't take long for this electric Barons offense to just get going, and Sawamura in that leadoff spot has been around that the whole year for the Barons, and what a job from him, the man from Japan.
Only guy on this Barons roster from outside the U.S. Sawamura had 4 hits on last Wednesday against the Saints and has another one right here. Came into the day with an average of .302 that will have only gone up with the leadoff double. So a runner on second base and nobody out for David Aguirre. Playing in his 13th game this season. Breaking ball low down. Ball one.
Had a highlight versus Orange County when the Barons got a win there. Hit a walk-off, just a nice base hit through the gap, scored 2. Got them the W.
Segovia's been a guy the Saints can count on a lot of length for, and would love to get some here. Chopper to third, Robinette over, throw over to first base. It is not picked by Asperger. Sawamura advances to third on the play, and after the Saints had a litany of miscues last night against the Forcers as they surrendered 22 runs. The first 2 have reached here for the Barons, and another potential error on the infield over there at third base from Bryce Robinette.
Yeah, in that first inning yesterday, the Barons had 6 runs versus San Diego, so they're kind of on that fast track right now, but that's a solid play from Robinette. It's just the throw that got away from him. That's a tough pick for Asperger to really make, but did the job checking the runner going from second to third. Ended up advancing anyways, but it was a throw to first.
So an early RBI chance for Nick Sanders. Played his first game of the season just 4 days ago. And this already his 4th game as Barons head coach James Bishop getting him in there, arriving late to the scene in Compton.
Yeah, and there's a reason why this guy, you want him in the top of the lineup, has so much power, 6'2", 220. So a big guy from Texas. Already in this lineup for the 5th time now.
He's got 6 hits in his first 3 games. He had 4 yesterday against the Bombers as the Barons won that game, 20-4. Ball gets away, but it hit Sanders, and he will go down to first base. The first 3 have reached against Edwin Segovia. The bases are loaded for nobody out, and Jason Delviar, who is the CCL's leading home run man, and after the Saints got, for lack of a better word, whooped yesterday, this has not been the start that Aaron Milam wants.
Yeah, I mean, when you come off a weekend where you play the second best team in the CCL so close, and then you go play the best team and, you know, get it taken to you, it's just hard to kind of bounce back from a 22-2 loss. But the Saints need to dig deep, and it's about limiting damage now with no outs. It's all for the Barons in this first.
Saints will keep the infield back here in a scoreless game. Segovia's first pitch is swung on and missed. Take a look at the Saints defensively. Panarisi, Wynn, and Ryder from left to right across the outfield. Third to first, Robinette, Flores, Immel, and Asperger, with Camden Andrews doing the catching for Segovia. Delviar, the CCL home run leader with 4. 5 guys are tied for second place with 3. Cannon King one of them, but Delviar on top with the 4 spot.
Yeah, just a guy that has such great swings. Good exit velocity as well.
Delviar has 20 hits on the year. 13 of them have gone for extra bases.
That just shows
he's hitting over 300 too, so it's not like he sacrifices the power for the average.
They come hand in hand.
5-tool guy. 0-2 pitch. Fouled back.
Maybe want to see Segovia utilize that changeup now. Has a count, that swing and miss pitch is that changeup. Maybe a cutter, you can get it in on the hands. But any weak contact, whoever fields it has to check home. then go first or maybe turn the double play, whatever's given to you.
Throws that change 21% of the time. He's got Del Villar down 0-2. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Del Villar does indeed go down on the changeup, and a huge first out for Edwin Segovia. His first strikeout, and he gets Del Villar swinging.
That's a great pitch right there from Segovia. And again, that changeup, it is the put-away pitch that he has in his arsenal. And Del Villar, when you have that much power and you see something low in the zone, you just want to go and get it. And he swings out and misses at it for the first out.
Saints not nearly out of the woods just yet. Base is still juiced for Nathaniel Williams, who has torched the Saints all year. He is tied for second in the CCL in runs driven in with 20, and he's got 3 on base here. Ball one inside, gets away from Andrews and goes to the backstop. Salamore's in to score. Aguirre rounded third hard, thinking about coming home, but Andrews got to the ball, and Segovia covered home plate, but Salamore comes in to score, gets on via the leadoff double, comes around, and the Barons have scored in the first inning again. It's been a problem for the Saints all year, and already down 1-0 against Compton.
And that's just not the way you want to do if you're Segovia. Can't spike one in the dirt there and allow the run to come across. And I think when you're in that base loaded no out situation, mentally you are, let's get out of this with the least amount of runs possible, but that's not how you thought it would happen.
Barons scratch a run across with Williams at the plate without him putting the ball in play. Swings at a 1-0 and grounds it down the first base line, a fair ball. 2 runs are going to score. Williams cruising into second base easily. Now he's thinking about third as the ball gets away in right field from Ryder. He's into third base with a 2 RBI triple. And the Barons have jumped all over the Saints here in the first inning at Pasadena. 3 in the bank. And the latest blow, a 2-run triple off the bat of Nathaniel Williams, who now moves solely into second place with RBIs in the CCL. He's got 22 as he drives in 2 more, and the Barons lead at 3-0.
And that's why he's a CCL South All-Star. He got picked for it yesterday morning, and he's really riding with that in this game. There's a great piece of hitting and just out of the reach of Asperger, who has a solid reach of that 6'2 frame, but there's not much you can do right there.
First pitch, low and inside to Elijah Clayton, ball 1. These are 2 teams going in opposite directions, Dylan. The Saints are a season low 7 games under 500. The Barons a season high 3 games over 500. And most certainly not an ideal start. Popped up right side, Asperger over. He will make the play, and holding at third base is Williams. A big second out for Segovia as he gets Clayton to pop up without Williams advancing from third.
Yeah, that's all you can really ask. Just a non-productive out for Segovia, and the Barons now down to Lujan. With 2 outs, 3 runs in this first inning. They've started really hot, as they have done the past couple games.
So here is Lujan. 2 hits, drove in 3 runs against the Saints. Flies this one to right center field. Over his win into the gap, he will make the catch for out number 3. So good job by Edwin Segovia to strand the runner at third with 2 outs. But the Barons get 3 in the top of the first. Saints trailing as we head to the bottom half. 3-0 Compton. Bottom of the first, Barons on top 3-0. Here's a stat for you. In the last 5 games coming into today, the Barons had scored 66 runs. To put that in perspective, the Saints, 16. A 50-run differential between these 2 teams in their last 5 contests out there. And the Saints already in an early hole in this one. We'll take a look at their lineup as they go up against Caden Chavez. 3rd time they'll see the Barons lefty this season from Fordham University. Braden Flores, the shortstop, will lead it off after playing second base for most of the last week. He's back At shortstop, Carson Panarisi in left field. That's been the top throughout most of the season, is hitting second. Jacob Freer getting a day off of defense today, is DHing and batting third. Sean Asperger at first base is hitting fourth as the all-star Zach Clate gets the day off. Evan Ryder is back out there in right field hitting fifth, with Brandon Wynn in center hitting sixth for the fifth consecutive game. Camden Andrews is hitting seventh and catching for Segovia. Dylan Immel in the eighth spot at second base, and Bryce Robinette at third rounds out the starting lineup for the Saints against the Barons left-hander, Caden Chavez.
Yeah, the southpaw, 12 innings pitch for him, 3 ERA, 1.17 whip, 12 strikeouts, and his last appearance was against the Saints when they beat the Saints 14-1. 4 innings pitched in that one, 4 hits, 1 run, 4 strikeouts. So he's been on the top of his game, especially in these last 3 outings.
Already the third appearance for Chavez against the Saints. You mentioned it started a week ago, and James Bishop opting to go with him again today against the Saints as the Barons look to put even more separation between themselves and Arroyo Seco in the CCL South standings.
Yeah, Barons looking for a shutout inning early in this one, in this first, but I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but in this first inning, you're already down 3-0. You need response, because response is going to show what the flow of this game is going to be.
Saints trailing early, a phrase we've said often this season. Outside ball one on Braden Flores, who for the second straight day is getting his first at-bat from the right side of the plate as he faces a lefty. Jack Fowler of the Foresters yesterday, and now Chavez of the Barons today. Swings at the 1-0 and launches it to right center field. Over is Mertz into the gap to make the catch for out number 1, and Flores flies out to begin the bottom half of the inning.
And Braden Flores will always take that first pitch, and if he wants to be aggressive, that second pitch is where he'll, try to make his money at, but just gets it off the end of the bat, lunging towards it. It's not a good recipe to really get it down, get some powerful hits.
Well, Flores, for the first time yesterday, did not reach base in a game this season and flies out to right to begin his night tonight. Here's Panarisi against Chavez. Flares the first one into center field. Coming in on it is Sawamura. He will get there. A running catch for out number 2. 3 pitches and 2 outs for Caden Chavez, and has retired Flores and Panarisi to begin the game.
That's just early aggressiveness right there from the Saints, just not paying off. And Panarisi's a guy where if he's taking that first pitch, he has a 100 increase to his on-base percentage. So the stats tell that he should be taking that one, but saw something he liked. Didn't give it a bad ride, but that was a great play by Sawamura in center as well to track that down, show him that speed.
Quickly 2 gone in the first for Jacob Freer. A lefty-lefty matchup against Chavez. Take a look at the Barons defensively. Tyler, Sawamura, and Mertz from left to right across the outfield. Third to first, Williams, Clayton, Aguirre, and Del Villar, with Nick Sanders doing the catching for Caden Chavez. Freer, one of 4 Saints All-Stars, 3 on the offensive side of the ball. Playing in his 15th game. Comes in with an average of .296 and a couple of hits last week against the Barons when these two teams squared off in Compton. 2-0 is inside ball 3.
Freer already way ahead. He's going to take here, of course. 3-0 early on in the game. You're not going to be swinging at this.
Especially down 3-0 already. Got to get some
not.
guys on base.
Got to keep passing that torch.
On the outside corner, strike 1. Chavez, a 3 ERA flat on the year. He has been one of the Barons' best pitchers, and with the offense they've had, they just need guys to do their job out there on the mound, and the second best offense in the CCL South behind the Foresters. Barons are lethal at the dish. That one's in the dirt, ball 4, and a 2-out walk to Jacob Freer here in the bottom of the first.
That's a perfectly timed, patient at-bat from Jacob Freer. Exactly what you need in that position. And now for Sean Asperger, who's been on a tear recently. He's kind of taken those early season woes, and he's flipped it on its head in the last week and a half.
Well, 1 week ago, Asperger homered off Chavez. Lefty-lefty. That was his first home run of the season. Got his second yesterday against the Foresters. Asperger guy who has played third base this season, at first base today with Zach Late getting the day off. Those two positions are very similar on a baseball diamond in terms of the long throw, the pivots, the sharp ground balls. So oftentimes you'll see guys play both first and third. We're both Dodgers fans, Dylan. Max Muncy, an example who comes to mind in terms of playing third base and first base in his major league career.
Yeah, that's really those reactions as well. I mean, you talk about the sharp ground balls, sharp liners as well. I've seen a couple this year for both Asperger and Late, and you can just kind of already see the reactions. And I mean, it's tough to play at the corners of the infield.
Freer on first base, no balls and 2 strikes. And a check over on Freer, who is back very easily to the bag. No tag applied from Del Villar. Asperger comes in today with a 5-game hitting streak. Played 2 of 3 at slow.
And he's a guy that, for how much he's struck out, he's kind of battled back with the walk numbers. He's almost 1-to-1. I think a bit more in the walk column this season. Second on the team in walks, actually. I mean, he's a guy that can certainly get on in a multitude of ways, but strikeout's also the problem.
Well, the Saints have a number of bat-to-ball guys, so good to have some guys who have a good eye as well. They've got the power in Cannon King, and the bat-to-ball guys come to mind. Nick Nishiwa, one of them. Braden Flores, Panarisi, obviously, at the top of the lineup. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch to Freer is on the outside corner, strike 3. First strikeout of the game for Caden Chavez ends the scoreless first to the second here in Pasadena. 3-0, Barons. Saints in an early hole once again as they trail 3-0 to the top of the second. 8-9-1 coming up for the Barons against Edwin Segovia, Jackson Tyler, Chip Mertz, and Eiji Sawamura coming up for Compton.
Saints are ready in this 3-0 hole, like you said. And the fact the Barons are already at the 8 just in this first inning, I mean, it just shows how high power their offense is.
Well, dating back to yesterday, and now I don't want to do it, but 6 of their last 7 innings, the Saints have given up at least 2 runs. That is a recipe for disaster right there.
Absolutely is. I mean, the pitching has just been the problem for the Saints all year, but the offense is now starting to be a bit spotty.
Swing and a miss at the fastball, and it's 0-2. Tyler, an SDSU guy, actually got injured against the Saints about 3 weeks ago when these two teams faced off in Pasadena. Found himself out of the lineup for a couple of weeks, but has been inserted back in from James Bishop after he has healed from that injury and has been playing very well. Yesterday, in fact, drove in 6 runs against the Bombers. 1-2, poked foul. though the Barons did score 20 runs, so pretty much everybody drove in a lot of runs.
Yeah, I mean, them and the Foresters, you both had field days, and they're showing their offensive prowess. But you know, if you score 6 runs and get 6 RBIs, you know, you kind of have to be inserted back in the lineup.
Tyler only at 179 on the year. This is a lineup for the Barons that is top 6 heavy. So the top 6 hitters very much better than the bottom 3. Swing and a miss at the breaking ball. And the second strikeout of the night for Segovia. Tyler is out number 1 here in the second.
And that's kind of that cutter-like slider for Segovia where it falls out of the hand weir and it kind of has a tumbling action, but from that gets a swing and a miss and doesn't use it too often. Again, the fastball changeup, but that third pitch is sometimes what gets you when you're not expecting it on the scouting report.
A big first out here in the second for Segovia. It'll bring out Chip Mertz, who is playing in his 16th game of the year here for the Barons.
Yeah, back to the academy for a second consecutive year as well, so is familiar with playing for team in Compton.
Fly ball, right field, Ryder going back. He is at the wall. He looks up, and it's gone. Home run, Chip Mertz here in the second inning. Second straight inning that the Barons have scored off Edwin Segovia. And Chip Mertz's first home run of the year makes it 4-0 Compton.
Chip Mertz, Euro stepping back to home. I mean, that was long gone from him in the 9-hole. And when you talk about it being top heavy, but Mertz doing some justice for that 7, 8, 9. What a hit, and that was scorched.
We'll bring up Sawamura. Now already getting his second at-bat in the game. He doubled to begin the game back in the first. Came around to score on the wild pitch. Already 1 in the bank here in the second for the Barons as they lead the Saints 4-0. Line the other way, but fading and foul, and it's 1-1. Do want to let our listeners know that as the game goes on, we will keep you updated on the score of the USA World Cup game against Bosnia and Herzegovina. I know my broadcast partner Dylan is anxiously awaiting the results of that one.
Well, the United States is up 1-0 right now as the first half came to an end. So at halftime, but they're looking to make it to the next round. Awaiting is Belgium, who had a crazy victory over Senegal. We're down 2-0, 81st and 87th minute, I believe. Brought it to 2-2 and then went to extra time, 117th minute penalty. They scored it, and Belgium saw it out in 130 minutes of play.
3 balls and a strike on Sawamura, rolled to the right side. Dylan Immels got it for the second out of the inning.
Number 20, David Aguirre.
Bring up David Aguirre now for the Barons, who singled his first time up. The first 3 reached against Edwin Segovia as the Barons put up a 3 spot in the first inning.
Yeah, and that Aguirre hit was just a chopper that Robinette kind of whiffed on the throw. Unclear if it was an error. We'll have to go back and check it, but I would have charged an error, just not the best throw.
Ripped back to the screen, 0-1. You mentioned the pitching has been the issue with the Saints. Well, their offense recently has struggled a little bit from getting off to that hot start, and the defense has not been good as well. So kind of like a leaky ship right now for the Saints. You patch one hole and another one opens. Line back up the middle, a base hit off the bat of Aguirre, his second single in as many innings, and he's on with 2 outs ahead of Nick Sanders.
Good piece of hitting from Aguirre, and again, one of those guys like a Nick Nishio for the Saints that just gets through the ball. That's what you want in that 2-hole, just get on base in any way you can. He has a pure swing, just getting straight through it, sends it back where it came from.
Well, you mentioned Nick Nishiwa. Nick Sanders stepping up to the plate right now for the Barons. So 2 guys, 2 catchers named Nick. And the interesting thing is that they both spell their name N-I-K instead of N-I-C-K. N-I-C-K, of course, the more popular spelling. One of our other broadcasters, Nick Jepson, spelled his name N-I-C-K.
I mean, I've never seen a N-I-K.
Line drive, center field. Wind got a Bad read on it, dives for it, and it's by him. Another miscue from the Saints, and it's going to end up a double off the bat of Nick Sanders. Getting to third on the play is Aguirre, who had to wait for the ball to drop. Another defensive miscue from the Saints, and the Barons are in business here in the second. After getting 2 outs, Segovia has allowed the next 2 to reach, and 2 in scoring position for Jason Del Villar.
About to play that wind. It's just the wind kind of bringing that back in. Didn't get a great read. And it's not too much wind, but
Right.
can't get the great read. The sun in the eyes, and no matter how much shade you got on those glasses and how much that blocks out, it's always gonna be tough. And he's a Gold Glover out there. We saw some plays this weekend at San Luis Obispo, so kind of uncharacteristic.
First pitch, outside, ball 1 to Del Villar. Sanders on second, Aguirre on third. 4-0 Barons lead. They've got a run in here in the second, and the Saints, after losing by 20 yesterday to the Foresters, are in danger of letting this one slip out of hand. Segovia's 1-0. In the dirt, nice play from Nishiwa to keep it close and to send Aguirre back to third base. That's one area defensively the Saints have been really good this season, is with their backstop from their catchers, Andrews and Nishiwa.
Yeah, Andrews right there, just blocking that straight down, and we've seen a couple wild pitches this season for the Saints, but you're absolutely right. Defensively blocking things, just keeping things kind of playable, and while he didn't fully block it, he gave it enough where Aguirre couldn't really advance.
Yeah, that was Andrews with the block. I beg your pardon. We're talking about Nick
We
catchers. I
were
just
talking
went
about
with
Nick.
Nishiwa.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a Nick up to bat, or was.
Nick, the guy up to bat, swings and misses at the fastball, and it's 2-1. Well, both catchers for the Saints have been really good so far this season. Nishiwa, especially from an offensive perspective, and Andrews from a defensive perspective. It's Andrews right there with the block behind the plate to keep Aguirre at third. 2-1, flipped back to the screen, and the count is even 2-2.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good situation when you have 2 legitimate guys that you can kind of platoon back and forth.
2 on, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Segovia comes home, and Del Villar flips it foul.
That's a big thanks to our PA announcer here for giving the heads up for fans in the stands. Safety first.
Barons just wrapped a 5-game homestand. Out on the road for 1 before they return to Compton for 3 more at home. So a very quick 1-game road trip here in Pasadena. Another great block by Andrews, this time diving to his right to keep a ball that was in the left-hand batter's box from going to the screen.
That's a heck of a play from Andrews. Just quick on his feet, or rather to get off his feet. Full belly dive. Keep that one, in play, and now it's time to party.
So the count is full. Saints do have a base open, but Nathaniel Williams, who had a 2 RBI triple, is on deck. Here's Segovia's payoff. Del Villar fouls it off and will do it again.
Yeah, there's one of those grind-out at-bats, and if Segovia can win this one, it could be a good testament for maybe getting another or 2 innings, but if he can't, get the out here and end this inning, it might just be an early killer.
3-2. Ground ball up the middle. Flores to his left, throws and gets him for out number 3. Mertz hits the solo home run, but good job by Edwin Segovia to strand 2 runners to the bottom of the second. 4-0 Compton. Start of the second half in Santa Clara, USA on top, 1-0 as we kick off in the second half in San Francisco. Bottom of the second here in Pasadena, and the Saints with a 4-0 deficit as they look to get things going against Caden Chavez, who had a scoreless first.
Yeah, saw 4 guys, struck out the last one. And if you can get another inning like that, it could be just early doors. And we know the Saints can blow up in certain innings. We saw it on Sunday versus SLO, but it's just been dire here in Pasadena.
Ryder, Wynn, Andrews, 5, 6, 7 in Aaron Milam's lineup coming up against Caden Chavez, who is now facing the Saints for his 3rd time this year and so far has been no worse for wear. Still very effective against these Saints hitters despite the familiarity. 0-1 pitch, fly to center field. Salmore going back on it. It's looking up, and it is off the pole and gone. A home run for Evan Ryder. First bomb of the year for Ryder. Gets the Saints on the board, and it's 4-1 here in the second.
That just kept on going and going, and off that flagpole in center. And when he first got a swing on that, it looked like it would be just a straight-up pop-up, or rather just a deep or a normal fly. But kept on going, kept on carrying, and Ryder leaves the yard, extending his hitting streak, and that's a great way to do it.
Yeah, now both center fielders this game have misjudged balls a little bit. This one very much to the benefit of the Saints. Salmora probably, even if he gets a perfect read, not going to catch that one as it clangs off the foul pole there in center field. And the Saints are on the board, 4-1. Their second solo home run in as many days. Asperger yesterday and Evan Ryder today.
And that one, 390. Unbelievable. I mean, that's some tower power right there from Ryder.
Wynn swings at the 1-0 and pops it up into left field. Williams going out, Tyler going in. It is, in fact, the shortstop, Elijah Clayton, going over into shallow left field to make the catch for out number 1 of the second. Yeah, you mentioned power. In fact, the CCL on their Instagram today released their newest data on home runs, and 2 of the players in this game are on that list. Antonio Lujan has the longest home run of the last week, 407, but Cannon King slides in there at 4th. He hit a ball 389 feet.
Yeah, and Cannon King, we've seen him all season long. He has so much power as a UCSD commit. He's going to bring all that power down to La Jolla.
Strike 1 on Camden Andrews.
Cam Andrews, a guy that has gone on base a lot this season. It's kind of dwindled a bit recently, but still someone that you can count on to make some contact.
This one inside, and Andrews gets out of the way.
That's
he gets on base. Yeah. The interesting thing is that he has the most stolen bases on the Saints as a catcher. And the Saints have a lot of guys who have a good number of speed. So a little surprising but impressive that Andrews leads in that category for Arroyo Seco.
Yeah, he's not the fastest guy on the team, but he gets amazing jumps and just picks the perfect times to go. And a lot of those steals over to second are kind of the players deciding when is the best time. And right there, I mean, obviously he knows the timing. He's a veteran and is a very cerebral player, so he used that to his advantage whenever he's down at first, which is, ends up being quite often. Again, gets on base, and it's interestingly enough, that one inside a couple pitches ago, he gets hit by pitches a lot as well, so just gets beaten up, but he takes him like a champ and gets down.
Yeah, 297 average, the OBP up there near 400 for Andrews. It's the local kid, comes from here in Pasadena, plays at Cal Baptist University for his college ball, and he's having a good summer so far with the Saints. Again, we mentioned that the catcher position, one of their deeper positions on the roster, with Andrews and Nishiwa the tandem. 3-1, Andrews swings away and fouls it off to the right and out of play, and it's 3-2.
He actually played on this exact field. I mean, a couple Maranatha guys, which is the local high school about, probably a couple minutes away, probably 3 or 4 minutes away. Lovely high school as well, but
this is the field they use, yeah.
Yeah, they use Jackie Robinson. Dylan Huang, another guy who played at Maranatha about a month or 2 ago now, graduated. Just 2 guys that from here.
Payoff, fouled back, and the count remains 3-2, and it's worked out well for Huang, committing to Villanova in the coming year. Very impressive for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where that's a great academic school, but also has some pretty good baseball, especially up there in Philadelphia. It's a nice place, so it's great for Dylan Wong to get out there, move all the way to the East Coast.
Pretty good AB here from Andrews in the bottom of the second. Chavez's payoff is fly to right field. Should be playable for Mertz, who's coming in on the run, and he's got it for out number 2.
Yeah, an awkward catch right there from Mertz, but makes it nonetheless. We've seen a lot of those catches, especially from Academy. They had about 3 putouts in the outfield where they're coming in on it, and it just dies at the last second, so they need to adjust, and they've made the adjustments pretty well.
It'll bring up Dylan Immel with 2 out and nobody on. Typically, you only see one of him and Jacob Freer in the lineup, but with both Owen Mangini and Zach Late out of the lineup today, Freer and Immel getting some playing time together.
And with Late not in the lineup today, and Mangini, kind of that counterpart for an Immel in a sense. It's interesting because against the lefty, and we saw Mangini yesterday, the righty-lefty matchups, a bit more enticing, especially if it line up full of lefties for Arroyo Seco.
Breaking ball outside 1-1 on Immel. Not a ton of power on the year for Dylan, but he's got 13 hits, steals a good number of bases, and a .425 on-base percentage coming into the game. 1-1 from Chavez. Immel flies it to left field. Tyler coming in over towards the line, and it drops. Jackson Tyler cannot make a sliding catch. Immel was about halfway between first and second, decides, I think wisely, to retreat to the first base bag with 2 outs, and it'll bring up Bryce Robinette, the third baseman, here in the 9-hole.
Yeah, it's kind of Immel in that gray area of should I go, and it would have been a close play, but why not err on the side of caution and just gets, those fly balls I was talking about for the Barons, just kind of dying in front of them and not able to make the play. That one just died too much.
Saints have seen Chavez much better here in the second inning. The leadoff home run from Ryder and the single from Immel. One-zero, high ball 2.
Yeah, I think getting that first pitch strike, and especially in the second inning, has been kind of a problem for Chavez, and we've talked about all season long. First pitch strike, just being ahead in the count, sounds obvious, but it just makes so much of a difference, especially how you're going to attack a guy.
Line towards right center field. Salmore on the run towards the gap. He's not going to get there. It'll one-hop the wall. Robinette has extra bases as Immel hits the bag at third. He's coming around. Throw to the plate. There won't be one. Dylan Immel slides in safely. A RBI double for Bryce Robinette, and the Saints have cut the deficit in half here in the second. It's 4-2.
Robinette does a great job. Sees it, drives it straight to right center field. Great line drive that brings in that run. And Immel, he was on his horse, and he thought for a second maybe he'd stop at third, but he was going the whole way. Full sprint, hard 90 for that last 90. And made it home. So now it's 4-2, and the Saints, this is exactly what they needed, the response at this time, and they're in it now.
Well, after the Saints fell behind yesterday 3-0, they only had one at-bat where they had the tying run up to the plate. And Flores lined into a double play, and Saints would not get within 9 runs the rest of the way. Already here against the Barons, down 4-0. They've cut it to 4-2 and have the tying run up there again in Flores with Robinette at second base and 2 gone.
They've already tied their season high going against Caden Chavez. Gave it those 2 runs in the first time they played, only 1 run last time up. So
Flores showing bunt, pulls it back and takes strike 2. Braden flew to right in his first at-bat of the game.
Trying to bring that back, that on-base streak. Again, like we said, every game has been on base besides last night. As well, the hitting streak that was on, which was about 3 games.
He's got hits in 8 of his last 10. Saints could use one here. 0-2 from Chavez. Flex to the right side. Giving it a look is Del Villar, but he'll watch it drop in foul territory. Pretty decent crowd here on a Wednesday game. A lot of fans here for the Saints and the Barons, an in-conference matchup here in Pasadena. The fourth time these teams have met. They will meet 2 more times, both of them right here at Jackie Robinson Field. Another 0-2. Swing and a foul tip, and gloved by the catcher Sanders for out number 3. So Flores strikes out to end the inning, but the Saints get 2 back. The home run from Ryder and the RBI double from Bryce Robinette have cut the lead in half. 4-2 to the top of the third. Barons on top, 4-2 as we head to the top of the third. Williams, Clayton, and Lujan coming up against Edwin Segovia, who's back out there for the top of the third. Williams, the 2-run triple in his first at-bat, part of a 3-run top of the first inning that the Barons got against Segovia.
Yeah, you expect nothing different from Nathaniel Williams. And like I said, an all-star for a reason. Now leading the CCL in RBIs.
Came in last week with Flores. They were tied for second, but Williams has since eclipsed Flores, rather. Braden with 19 now. Williams at 20 coming into this one. Williams up to 22 now with the 2-run triple in the third. So 3 runs driven in ahead of the Saints leadoff man. Really speaks to the depth of this Barons team that they've got a guy in Williams all the way down in the 5-hole. 3-0 on him. He's third in the average in the CCL. He's got the most hits with 27. So really remarkable that James Bishop and the Barons can keep a guy like this in the 5-hole and still be very successful.
And guys like this, you can just move around anywhere. And again, like you said, that shows the depth.
At the bottom of the zone, strike 1. Williams has played in all but one of the Barons games. Barons are a team that likes to play a lot more of their guys for a lot of games than other teams. The Saints getting guys in and out of there very quickly, but the Barons opting to go with a fuller lineup of guys, playing their everyday guys, well, every day. And Williams has been one of them. 3-2 from Segovia is on the inside corner for strike 3. Segovia was down 3-0 to Williams and comes back to strike him out for the first out of the third.
Heck of a comeback from Segovia, and it's the exact same pitch 3 times in a row. Just has that arm side run that Segovia really wanted. Just tattoos that inside part of the zone to the lefty. That's a great pitch from Segovia, and I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it 3 times.
Third K of the night for Segovia, who, after giving up 3 in the first, has been much better since. Big strikeout of Williams there for the first out of the third. Now bunting it foul is Elijah Clayton. He's a good hitter, but he's an even better base stealer, has the most in the CCL, so A bunt attempt, very understandable. Try to see him get on first and get into scoring position for the Barons as they look to extend the 4-2 lead.
Yeah, we'll see if he does show. Robinette just sitting normal depth at third. No one's in. Like you said, he can certainly swing it, but yeah, the real goal for him is just any way possible. Get him on first base and let him do the rest. 14 stolen bases, like you said. CCL leading. That's a speedster and a half.
Well, the batting average is not that high for Clayton, but the on-base percentage up near 400, and the stolen base is up there as well. Fly ball into right center field. Ryder is over into the gap to make the catch. 2 up and 2 down in the top of the third for Edwin Segovia as he retires Clayton on a fly ball.
Segovia just does everything he needs to do, gets the weak contact, and just keep it going. And in this inning so far, I mean, especially since that first, had that solo shot and had those 2 hits last inning, but he's settled in a bit and is just kind of pitching to contact, throws a lot of strikes, which is one of the, pure spots of Segovia's game.
Lujan drives a ball deep to right field, going back at the wall, and it is caught! A sensational play by Evan Ryder over the right field wall to rob a home run from Antonio Lujan. And Edwin Segovia is through the third unscathed. The 1-2-3 inning capped off by a sensational play in right center field by Evan Ryder. Takes away the home run from Lujan through 2.5 here at Jackie Robinson Field. 4-2 Barons. Bottom third, Saints still trail 4-2, but how about the terrific catch out there in right center field from Evan Ryder, who is having an incredible day. He has a home run himself, and he took away a home run from Lujan to keep it a 2-run deficit for the Saints. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 for Arroyo Seco in the bottom of the third against, once again, Caden Chavez. Panarisi, Freer, and Asperger due up. It'll be Ryder if anyone reaches. Man, what a play.
I mean, that was unbelievable. And you couldn't really, it's not one of those ones that you can call right away. That's why we had to wait for a second and see if he brought it in. But we saw the reaction. We saw everyone leave in the uproar. I mean, ecstatic from everyone. Yeah, what a day for Ryder and right.
Yeah, hard to know when the ball gets out there, especially in right center because it blends in against that white railing out there, the white building and the kids' space here at Pasadena. But Ryder jubilant and did indeed make the catch. 1-1 to Panarisi is popped up. Left side, Williams with the call, and the catch for out number 1, and Panarisi is 0 for 2.
Yeah, and that is the thing with Carson Panarisi. He likes to swing the bat. He likes to get it off the shoulders, but and he makes contact. He gets contact, swings and misses a lot with those strikeout numbers, but when he gets that contact, he just gets pretty unlucky, and that one just under it. A lot of pitches for Panarisi kind of in recent times since he had that breakout in mid-June, June 14th, that he's just wanted back. I mean, we've seen some good swings. We've seen some ugly swings right there, and it's Panarisi. It's just the tides are hopefully shifting soon for him. He's due.
It'll bring up Jacob Freer, the only man to reach against Chavez in the first inning. He was stranded after he walked when Sean Asperger struck out. Up here with 1 out and nobody on. Saints in a 4-2 deficit. 1-0 in the dirt ball 2. Barons got 3 in the first. The Nathaniel Williams 2 RBI triple. The big blow in that one, but the Saints got 2 back in the bottom of the second after the Barons added on with 1 in the top of the second. The 2 runs, a Ryder home run and a Robinette RBI double. And now in the bottom of the third, trail 4-2. Well, you mentioned down 4-0, the Saints needed a response, and they did indeed respond. Now you need to add on to that response and try and look to take a lead here against Caden Chavez.
Yeah, just keep chipping away the best way the Saints can.
In the dirt, 3-1 to Freer.
Chavez working at a very quick pace. It's something about his game. He works pretty fast, and with no pitch clock, it's really self-regulated here. But works fast and is just throwing a lot of balls, so maybe he needs to take a second. He is taking a bit more time just to kind of center himself.
Freer a little choked up on the bat, swings at the 3-1 and flexes it to the left side. Into foul ground is Williams, but he will make the running play for out number 2. Freer swings 3-1 and pops out to Williams for the second out of the third.
Just more unfortunate. Hoping to maybe foul that one back. I mean, just kind of survive right there. But just not a pitch you necessarily need to swing at, especially if you don't really like it that much. So unfortunate for Freer, but that will bring up Asperger, looking to keep this inning alive.
So each of the first 2 batters, of the Saints' third have popped out to Nathaniel Williams at third base. And here is Asperger.
Let's try the front door slider. And he's a fastball slider guy. Those are his main 2 pitches. And that slider, it's pretty wicked, has some solid break to it. But Asperger, keen eye.
Asperger struck out in the first. Takes it down low, and it's 2-0. Evan Ryder on deck is already having what could be the day of his life. A home run for himself and takes away a home run from the Barons DH. Line towards left center field off the bat of Asperger. That'll split the outfielders. Asperger will make a wide turn and go back to first. He's on with a 2-out single as Evan Ryder steps up representing the tying run.
That's a good approach. Over to left center, Asperger just goes oppo to that gap between center and left. Center fielder does round it up, and Asperger had to retreat back, but that will bring up the danger man in Ryder, like you said earlier. Home run, a robbery, what a day. He's had a couple career days this entire season, Max, but this one is adding it to the history books.
This, in fact, the first time in any of the 4 matchups against the Barons this year that Ryder has been in the starting lineup and certainly making the most of it. A home run himself and takes away a home run from a Baron. And we talked a little bit off air, Dylan, about how Ryder may be a guy who should have deserved more all-star consideration with how he's played. 350 average coming into the day, and it's not been a small sample size. He's played more than half of the games. But is not going to be making the trip down to Reno, but showing today why maybe he should have been an all-star. Check over to first on Asperger, who's back standing.
And a lot of those things, I mean, it's tricky in the CCL when all-star means a lot when you're looking for a place to play next year. I mean, Evan has a place to play in Santa Ana College, but still, a lot of these guys are looking for places to go and just adding it to their resume. So it does matter in a sense, but sometimes you have to take it on the chin and just be, strain your abilities.
Ryder swings and misses at the 1-0. The fastball out of the hand of Chavez, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, there'll always be talk, and at any single level, people will talk. But all you have to do is just focus on you, focus on your abilities, and that's what Evan's done, and that's why you rob a home run and right.
Saints in the second game of a 6-game homestand they will play here. They, in the month of July, will only go out on the road 3 more times after it was a more road-heavy schedule in the first month of the year. The series at SLO, but they also went to Orange County twice, Compton twice. Another check over on Asperger. this time sliding back to the bag head first.
So Jackie Robinson's going to see a lot of Saints action for the rest of July again. 26 more days, or 27 including this one, of the regular season. 3 days till All-Star break, and it's all going to be here.
Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Or 2-2 the count, the home plate umpire signaling. The other interns with us up in the press box operating the scoreboard. Now up to date. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Chavez comes home, and Reiter leaves it in the dirt, ball 3. So Asperger will get the head start with the pitch. As Evan Reiter having a great day. The home run in the first, and now a really good plate appearance here in the third.
Yeah, really working a good one. It's 3-2, 2 outs. Keep passing the torch. That's a relay.
Here's a payoff. Reiter swings and misses for strike 3. Held onto by the catcher Sanders, and Reiter goes down on strikes for the third out of the inning. 4-2. The Barons on top as we head to the fourth. Barons on top, 4-2 as we head to the top of the fourth. 8-9-1 coming up for the Barons, and as we head to the top of the fourth, I will hand it off to my broadcast partner, Dylan DeCesare. Dylan?
Thank you so much, Max. 8-9-1, like you said, Jackson, Tyler, Chip Mertz, and Eiji Sawamura, the lineup card will flip over this inning. 4-2 ball game here in Pasadena. And if you're looking for your other athletics fix, 1-0 USA up versus Bosnia and Herzegovina. The U.S. down to 10 men, though, with a red card on Florin Balogun. But just like that, they are up 1-0, awaiting a game versus Belgium. But here in Pasadena, Segovia back in for another inning of work as he's ahead 0-1. 1-1 is the count. Segovia went 1-2-3 thanks to Evan Reiter in right field, robbing a home run, bringing one back from Antonio Lujan. And now going at Tyler, who pops that one up on the infield. Under it is Flores. He'll bring it in. That's the first out of the inning.
Number 4, Chip Mertz.
So just like that, first out for Segovia in this one. So the last 5 that have come up, he's put away.
Yeah, important for Segovia to keep it a 2-run game, especially with Saints offense showing some life in the bottom half of the second.
We talked about it. The Saints offense is kind of what the moniker was for that June, at least the first half of June, which is so good, able to outscore teams, blow up in certain innings, and the pitching was really the struggle. But now kind of seeing struggles across the board for Arroyo Seco.
I use the analogy a leaky ship. They seem to patch one leak, and then the defensive miscues start, or
That one down the left field line. Under it is Panarisi. Calls for it, and it's all his. So 2 up, 2 down for Segovia in this top of the 4th.
yeah, good job by Segovia bouncing back to retire Mertz, who homered off him the first time. And again, 2-run deficit. Give as many outs and innings as you can if you're Edwin Segovia. That's your job after giving up 4 in the first 2 innings.
He settled in nicely, can go the length into this 4th inning. He's pitched 4 innings, at least in the other 2 starts he's had this year, are the 2 appearances. One of them starting, one of them out of the pen now. Eiji Sawamura up to bat, and he's behind 0-1. A double and a ground out to Immel at second for the leadoff man. We mentioned it, Sawamura, the only man on this academy team that's from outside the United States, from Mutoyama, Japan, the senior. Played at Odessa College when he came to the U.S. Played at Eastern New Mexico State last year and just put together great seasons at both of those institutions, and now looking for a new home. He'll find a new home at first after that hit by pitch. He'll reach. Sawamura gets the hit by pitch. And then Aguirre will come to bat now.
Sawamura actually one of only 2 guys on this roster not from California. He's the only guy not from the U.S., and the only other guy not from California is Nick Sanders, who is from Texas. But Sanders, a new acquisition, a new guy on the Barons each in about the last week or so. So for most of the season, their entire roster outside of Sawamura from the great state of California.
Sawamura goes, it's popped up and foul, so he'll have to retreat back to first. That one's 0-1, and Sawamura, a lot of speed, 13 on the year. Just gets down there to second like no one else in the CCL. And it really is those 2 in Clayton and Sawamura for the Barons that are stealing the bags. A lot of the other guys aren't stealing as much, but when you have those 2, troublemakers, lead off, and then down to the 8-hole, it creates a lot of problems. Segovia checks first. Asperger applies the tag, gets not in time. So returning is Sawamura. "4-2 is the score in this 4th. 0-2, straight to Flores, hops it and grabs it, and that is a 3rd out. Over to second to Immel. So just like that, Segovia gets out of the inning facing 4, and we'll head to the bottom of the frame. Bottom of the 4th, Saints ready to hit, down 4-2. And due up is Brandon Wynn, Cam Andrews, and Dylan Immel, 6, 8, and 9. And of quick update again on that USA game for all you listeners out there. 1-0 to the United States, down to 10 men after Falarin Balogun red card. But in the 80th minute, 10 minutes left. U.S. with a free kick, actually, so we'll keep you updated. But Wynn takes that one inside. It's 1-0, has to move out of the way. And this is only his second game playing at Jackie Robinson, a new addition in Brandon Wynn. Played at Lewis Clark State last year, 2026, and he unloads that one high to deep right field. Wynn leaves the yard. Saints bring it within one. And the new man in town, 5th game, first home run.
The new man in town, indeed. 397. Around 397 on the exit velo for Brandon Wynn. Heck of a job making himself known. First home run as a Saint. And how about the Saints? Down 4-0, and they've clawed it back to 4-3. This was their identity early on in the year, was being able to do this kind of thing, down a lot of runs and coming back. And Brandon Wynn right here gets the deficit to within 1 with the second solo home run of the day the Saints have hit.
Second one of the day, that one for Wynn. Andrews over to short, dive and play. Falling down as Clayton, he gloves it. So back-to-back pitches, one a home run, one a good play from the shortstop. And we're one down in this inning.
Well, that's the second really nice play that Elijah Clayton has made at shortstop today. He's not just a guy who can steal bases, but also a guy who can make plays in the field. The diving play right there, he also had a really nice running catch towards the left field foul line earlier. So he is showing off the glove at shortstop today, most definitely, for the Barons.
This one to Immel, who's now up. And it's an update for you. The USA with a free kick. Malik Tillman, the man from Leipzig, doing it for the U.S. scoring. They're up 2-0, 82nd minute. It was a beauty. Curling top left. Nothing Bosnia and Herzegovina could do about it. So there's your update from Santa Clara and Levi Stadium, or rather San Francisco Bay Area Stadium for this 2026 FIFA World Cup. And now back to Jackie Robinson Stadium. Immel behind 0-2 on Caden Chavez, who started his outing out fantastic, but seen kind of falter. But still 3 runs, manageable, in line for a quality start. And now 1-2 to Immel.
Yeah, Immel with a single back in the second. Just a flare that dropped in left field. Would love for him to continue it here.
Now one's a punch out. Chavez gets Immel's down. And that's a strikeout. So that's 2 down in this bottom of the 4th. And now up, Bryce Robinette in the 9-hole. Had an RBI double over to the right center gap last time up in the 2nd.
Yeah, good work from Chavez. His fastball has been hit hard today, so after the home run from Wynn, a nice adjustment to go with the breaking stuff there against Immel, another lefty hitter, and to get him for out number 2.
Now Chavez to Robinette. That one in for a strike. It's 0-1. Robinette seen some kind of mixed struggles throughout the year. Hadn't gone ahead in the last 2, but wrote that ship in that second. Now when a bender doesn't find the zone, it's 1-1. He's kind of mainly reliable for his walking prowess, but that seemed to have kind of dwindled. Had a row of 6 games consecutively with walks early in the season, but now 5 games without a walk in a row for the third baseman, as that one's in for a strike on the inner part of the plate. It's 1-2.
Yeah, he got a lot of power, though. He's got 8 hits on the season. 4 of them have gone for extra bases. Most notably that last one, the RBI double to what would at the time cut the deficit to 4-2.
Now 4-3, 1-2. Robinette fouled up and back behind us at Jackie Robinson. Nearing 7 p.m. here. Start time was 5:30, so almost an hour and a half through this one. And we're in this bottom of the 4th on a beautiful evening. Outside part of the plate doesn't bite. It's 2-2.
Now, Robinette is very much a utility guy for the Saints. He's played third, short, and second this season. He's also slid out to left field a couple times for the Saints so far in this summer. So he's a guy they like to have in the lineup because of his versatility.
2-2. Robinette leaves it down. We're full with 2 outs. So a 3-2 awaits for Robinette in this 9-hole. Looking to bring up Flores, who leads off the game. Robinette fouled off again. It's a battle at home.
Again, you look at what the Saints have done, scoring 3 runs, and you give them credit. But you also got to give credit to Caden Chavez. We talked about at the beginning of the game how with how good the Barons offense is, all the starting pitchers need to do is just do their job, and that's exactly what Chavez has done, getting the Barons to this point with the lead.
3-2, outside. He'll take his walk down to first. So a runner on first with 2 outs for Arroyo Seco and Bryce Robinette, and that brings up the top of the order, and Braden Flores, who's 0 for 2 with 2 at-bats in that first and the second, this one being the third and the fourth.
Well, Braden looking to get on base, get a hit right here. He's been so good this season, but very short sample size, 0 for his last 6. Now would be a great time to turn it around.
That one in first strike from Chavez. First pitch strike, he'll start off 0-1. And for Braden, hasn't really had slumps like this, and 0 for 6 doesn't seem too bad, especially that meaning only about a game and some change that he's not gotten a hit, but that just goes to show you how good this All-Star has been. 0-1, 2 outs, runner on first for Flores. Runner goes. Flores into right center. That one over to the right fielder. He makes the grab. It's Chip Mertz under it on a medium-sized run, grabs it, and we'll head to the top of the 5th. But it is 4-3. Saints get one back on that bomb from Brandon Wynn, his first of the season. Top of the 5th here at Jackie Robinson. Barons 3-4-5 up. It's Nick Sanders, Jason Delviar, and Nathaniel Williams. Dangerous part of the lineup up for Edmund Segovia, but he's retired 6 of his last 7. Hasn't allowed a hit since that second, only that one base runner by hit by pitch on AJ Sawamura last inning.
Yeah, big credit to Segovia. I think maybe you and I both thought, Dylan, that after giving up those 4 runs in the first couple innings that this would be a shorter outing for him, but give him a ton of credit. He's bounced back here.
Nick Sanders sees that breaker, ropes it, but just lands foul.
Yeah, Saints very fortunate on that one.
And that would have been extra bases. And 4 hits, or 4 games played, this one being the 5th for Nick Sanders. Guy that's newer. to the academy program, if you will. And he's kind of been a bit of everywhere. From Waco, Texas, home of Baylor. Didn't attend Baylor, attended UT in Austin. Didn't really play, only played 9 games, transferred Grayson College in 25 and 2026. Went to Campbell, and that one out to left center. It's high, it's deep, and well, it's gone. Nick Sanders leaves the yard, uses that 6'2", 220 frame to put a jam in this one.
Well, first one of the year for Sanders, and he has made a huge mark on the Barons since joining their team. And how about as the weather has heated up and the summer gets later, the bats are getting hotter. 4th home run of the game already, Dylan, and that is not something we typically see across the CCL. The leading home run man on the year has 4 home runs, and already 4 home runs in this game alone.
The baseballs are flying in Pasadena and Brookside Park today. So with that leadoff home run, the second, or rather, third leadoff home run of the game, might I add. 2 from the Saints in Ryder and Wynn. And then 1 from the Barons and Nick Sanders leading off this 5th. Now bring up Jason Del Villar, and you talk about, league leading and 4 home runs. Well, it's Del Villar. 4 home runs on the year, lots of power. Flexes that one over to Immel down the right field side. And that'll be the first one gone in the inning.
Yeah, good breaking ball from Segovia right there. Got it down and in so that Del Villar could not extend those long arms of him. So he just gets under it and on top of it and then flies it second base for Immel for the first out of the inning. Good bounce back from Segovia. He's done a great job of bouncing back so far today. Yes, he's given up 5 runs, but the Saints' offense has been very competitive against the Barons so far this season. So same goes, I think, for both Chavez and for Segovia. Keep your team in the game, and at that point, the pressure is kind of off you and just goes to the offense on whether or not they can come through.
Looking to be a offensive showing here as Nathaniel Williams speak about offense. I mean, he's got a ton of RBIs on the season, league leading, and this 5-hole. And he's done it today. 2 RBI triple and struck out today. That one over to short. Flores charging, scoops over to first in time. Those 2 gone now for the Saints. We'll bring up Elijah Clayton. Clayton, that stolen base leader, talked about it, but needs to get on first. Has popped out and has flown out, both down that right field side to the first and right field. Segovia. First pitch, Clayton freezes, takes it for a strike. It's 0-1.
Clayton 0 for 2. He popped to first in his first at-bat and flew to right in the third. Flew to right-her in right in the third.
That one's 1-1 now. Clayton, originally went to Cal, went to Oaks Christian, which if you're not familiar is a very popular preparatory school in West LA, Thousand Oaks. Is Clayton puts that one to left over the head of Panarisi, back at the wall. It'll stay in. Clayton on his way to second. Panarisi throws it in, and that's a stand-up double for Elijah Clayton.
Extra base hits galore. Dylan, another one in this game, and a really good swing from Clayton. Fastball down, got the bat head to it quickly, and pulled it over the head of Panarisi in left field. He's a great defender, but this one hit a little too hard and a little too far for him to get through. And now big out for Segovia. He's got to get Lujan to ground into some weak contact here, or maybe just give up a near home run and have Ryder rob it again in right field.
Now up Lujan. You talked about that robbery. He was the victim. Takes that one low. It's 1-0. And he's got a lot of power. And ranked top 100 in California just as a prospect. And a big reason of that was that power. One of the top in exit velocity in his class. Elite exit velocity was said. And we've seen it a bit this entire season. 1-0 to Lujan, the man from Azusa Pacific. That one just inside, barely misses Lujan. It's 2-0.
Runner on second base, first base open. Not the worst thing in the world if you're Segovia. If you walk Lujan, you've got a struggling hitter in Jackson Tyler on deck. So trying to get him chasing here is what I would do if I'm Segovia.
2-0, popped up under its Robinette. He'll make the third out, and that will end the top of the fifth. But one does come across in the form of a solo shot to lead things off from Nick Sanders. We'll head to the bottom of the frame. Saints down by 2, 5-3. In the bottom of the frame now, Saints ready to hit, but it's a new arm in the game, and Jared Galang.
Yeah, Galang making his 5th appearance on the year for this Barons bullpen. Last pitched 5 days ago against the Bombers. That was an 11-5 Barons win. He was really good in that game. 2 innings, did not give up a hit or a run, struck out 2 guys, and will look to continue on his success here against the Saints and the 2-3-4 in their lineup.
2-3-4 awaiting in Panarisi, Freer, and Asperger. Only 1 hit among those 3 today. 2 of them have reached, but this one is the outlier. Panarisi flew out to center and popped out to third in his 2 at-bats. And you just feel like, Max, this is the guy that's due. He looking for something.
Yeah, 0 for 2 today. He did have 2 hits yesterday, but more flared, nubbed singles that just landed into the outfield. Want to take a look at Galang's pitch mix. He throws 4 pitches, but really only 3. The 4 seams 71% of the time. Also features a slider and a change in his arsenal, and 2% of the time he will throw that cutter.
Yeah, those 3 main, that fastball, about those low 90s kind of standard, slider, 80, 82, changeup around the 84, 85. So around the board, pretty standard, but what's not standard is that sidearm kind of release. And you see him, we'll just take a look at this, kind of falling down and delivering it.
Yeah, and when he brings the arm back and brings the other arm forward, it almost looks like he's on a surfboard kind of, or surfing on some type of water board. He's very side to side with the arms. Arm angle and delivery, always tough for hitters to pick up, and Galang, a very unique one.
That one's in. 1-2 now. Panarisi still behind. Yeah, I like that analogy. And we see more and more just kind of unique ways for these guys to kind of get downhill and deliver their pitches. And at the end of the day, whatever works, works. And obviously it worked right there. Slider roping and swinging was Panarisi. And now moves to 0 for 3 on the day, and that's the first out.
Yeah, I got to give Galang credit right here. The way you get a batter out oftentimes is to go with the hard stuff up and in, get them looking there, and then you go with a slider or a breaking ball away. It's almost impossible for the hitter to lay off, and unable to right there is Panarisi for out number 1 of the 5th.
Now up is Freer. Swings through that one, and we'll look at scores. First, we'll check in on that USA game as it's officially come to a close. 2-0 the final score. The United States will face Belgium on Monday, July 6th.
USA, USA.
I think it might have been that home run to center, hitting that flagpole that sparked this USA win. Oh, that one.
Yeah, throw bat hit the bat. That is funny. That's pretty rare. You see it every so often, but first time I've seen that at a live game.
And that's one of the oddities. I mean, we have a couple here. The wedge, the baseball's getting wedged in this backstop. That one, not one often. Nick Sanders kind of chesting out the arm now, making sure he just doesn't do that again. They shared a little fist bump, though, so Freer and Sanders are on good terms now. As it is 0-2. Waiting is Freer. Walked and popped out today. That one will hit him on the ankle, and that's got to hurt.
Well, definitely not intentional from Galang. 0-2 pitch. The last thing you want to do is hit the guy, but not going to feel good for Freer. That was the fastball. Galang throws it 71% of the times and hits the front foot right there. That will likely leave a bruise in the morning for Jacob, but we'll trot down to first base, and the Saints have the tying run at the plate in the form of Sean Asperger.
Sean Asperger coming up. Has a single last time up, but struck out the time before in the first. In this 4-hole, and with Zach Late's arrival here in Brookside Park, it's seeing Asperger kind of have to take different roles, seeing some time at third, seeing some time DHing, but back at first where he's played kind of the beginning of the season for Late's arrival. See if he can be the difference maker here in this 4 spot.
Yeah, gotten hot recently. No home runs over the first 3 weeks of the season, but 2 over the last week, and he's got a lot of power. If he's getting hit, chances are it's going for extra bases, and Saints could use one here down 2.
Runner kind of goes. Asperger puts a solid swing into left field. So station to station with 1 out. A single from Asperger. And again, it was true last at bat, but just to reiterate, that hit streak, 6 games. A season best for Sean Asperger, and he's finding his stride at the exact time the Saints need him to.
Yeah, great swing. Fastball off the edge of the plate. Runners going. Oftentimes the batter will swing at the pitch in order to prevent the catcher from getting a clean throw off, and Asperger does a great job flexing it the other way into shallow left field, and the Saints are in business.
That brings up Evan Ryder. Solo shot in the second, struck out last time up to end the third. Has 2 runners on. Second on the team in RBIs for a while was neck and neck with Braden Flores, but Ryder's seen some, or rather less, playing time in the last week, and Braden Flores has been an everyday guy. But still Ryder right up there and adding to that RBI tally today nonetheless. He's behind 1-0 to Galang. Ryder chopped towards the Saints dugout. It's 1-1. Score updates around the league. Foresters took a 13-5 win versus Conejo. Stompers lost to the Crawdads 8-2. Menlo Park losing 4-1 to the affiliated Alameda Merchants. And here, of course, the Barons leading the Saints 5-3. Take a pause for this pitch. Ryder up the middle, and it gets through. Rounding is Freer, going to home. The play at the plate. not in time. Gets to the backstop. Asperger, he's going home. Ryder over to third, 2-run score. Saints tie things at 5-5.
Bad news, Barons right there. Dylan, ball kicks into center field, and talked about the miscue the Saints made in the bottom half of the top half of the first that allowed the Barons to get their runs. Well, the Barons give it right back right here. Great job from Asperger. Stops at second as soon as he sees the throw. Going to home plate, takes off towards third. It's not an accurate throw in center from Salmore. Gets away from Sanders. He takes home, and now the Saints, even with the infield in, maybe a sacrifice fly or a ground ball away from potentially taking the lead here.
So we're tied here in the fifth at 5-5. The runner 90 feet away for Brandon Wynn, who went yard last time up, but won't do the same there. Grounded out to second for that second out. Again, Evan Ryder with that single that's found its way up the middle. Brought home one for sure in Freer, and then that second one just got away from Sanders with a miscue from Salmore from in center. So we'll see how this is scored as we're waiting for the live stats to be updated, but I believe it would be a single then an error on the throw to score the second.
Yeah, unfortunate right there for Wynn on the ground out. That was a really good opportunity for the Saints to potentially take the lead, but cannot do it, and now it is up to Andrews.
Brings up, I rather said it, Cam Andrews. Fly out, line out. Now line out on a great play from Clayton at short. Looking from some more luck. This is 0-1, Andrews fouled back and away. It's 0-2. There's one thing that's for certain. Evan Ryder having a day, seeing if he can pass it down to the rest of his team. A robbery and 3 RBIs for Ryder.
He's had a good week all in one game.
Oh, he's been on top of it. Andrews over to short. Clayton gathers over to first. And that will be the inning. We'll head to the 6th, but the Barons and the Saints are tied at 5-5 thanks to a 2 RBI single from Evan Ryder. Top of the 6th, and then a pitching change for the Arroyo Seco Saints as it's 5-5. It's Vergara coming into the game for Arroyo Seco.
Yeah, Vergara, 2-pitch guy, fastball and the slider, and one of the newer Saints making only a second appearance on the year. He went 2 innings in his first appearance against the Bombers 8 days ago, and looking to keep it a tie game against the Barons as we head to the 6th.
And that means the day for Segovia is done, who gave 5 innings of solid ball for Arroyo Seco has been a part of willing them to a 5-5 top of the 6th. What seemed to be kind of a tumultuous start to the day for the Saints, having that 22-2 loss yesterday and the 3 runs early and no runs in that bottom of the first, it's really rebounded like that from that for the Saints.
Absolutely. Got to give them credit on the offensive end. Did not have a good day yesterday, but today much better. They've got the home runs. They've gotten the hits with runners in scoring position. They've taken advantage of defensive mistakes that the Barons have made. And so even in a 5-5 game, this is something that you can be proud of if you're a Saints fan. But they have to win this game. It's not enough just to put up a good showing. They got to come out with the W.
Jackson Tyler up to bat in this 8-hole. After him will be Chip Mertz, and then back to the top of the order in Eiji Sawamura. So that's who's due up for the Academy Barons. 1-1 from Vergara. Over to second, Immel, just out of his reach. Over into right center. Wynn stops it up, forces Tyler to come back. No, he'll go to second, and he'll be able to count on that error from Wynn. Has had trouble with the transfer. He'll be standing on second for a single stretch into a double.
Yeah, tough play in center for when the ball was hit very sharply, but one you have to glove, and Tyler first base advancing to second base on the error most likely, and after the Saints just recently tied the game, the Barons looking to potentially retake the lead here in the top of the 6th.
Bring up Chip Mertz. Hit a home run in that second and flew out last time up, but has been in the outfield one way or another this entire game. No balls, 1 strike. Vergara takes his long pause, checks second once, twice. Delivers. Mertz over to second. Immel fielded. Over to first. Gets the out, but the runner advances. He's 90 feet away for the leadoff man, Neji Sawamura.
Yeah, good job by Mertz, just doing a job, getting the ball over to third base and advancing the runner Tyler to third. That was his primary job in the position right there, and now in at third base, rather, for the top of the lineup. Very dangerous situation right here for Vergara. Saints going to bring the infield in.
Yes, they will, knowing the speed and maybe the small ball tendencies. Sawamura could kind of initiate. It'll be a heads-up way to bring in that runner 90 feet away. See if they opt for it. They have to remember Sawamura did have a scorching double to start this game. Now one high and to the left. Panarisi running onto it. Runner will not tag, just too shallow.
Huge second out right there by Segovia, getting the pop-up, keeping the runner at third base, and now, or not Segovia, rather, Vergara on the mound, excuse me. Great pitching by Vergara to induce the weak pop-out, and now the best part about it is you can bring the infield back to try to get this third out here with Aguirre at the plate. This would be a huge base runner to strand right here.
Absolutely, and David Aguirre coming up has experience bringing in those runs in this 2-hole. There's a swift through the ball guy. That one out to center. Win under it. And that will be the third out. So despite trouble 90 feet away, and Jackson Tyler, none come across thanks to Vergara. And this Saints defense will head to the home part of the frame. Bottom of the 6th, 5-5, ready for 8-9-1. And Dylan Immel, Bryce Robinette, and Braden Flores. Galang still in the game after coming in the last inning. Facing Immel for his first time today. Fouls that one back. It's 0-1. And a bit about Jared Galang. Fresno State guy, but in the transfer portal now, and only played one game last year in 2025. Played 17 at Fresno State as a Bulldog, but is looking for a new home. But has that D1 experience in the Mountain West. And I believe now Fresno State, the Pac-12, if I'm not mistaken. That ever-evolving West Coast Conference, which is actually another conference. As Immel swung through that one. It's 0-2. Into center field for a base hit. Immel sneaks it past the second baseman, and he'll stand on first. The second base hit for Dylan Immel on the evening. So makes him 2 for 3 on the day, and bringing up Bryce Robinette, who's 1 for 1 with a walk, and that one hit being an RBI double.
Yeah, I would try to advance the runner right here. I don't love bunting, but get Dylan Immel into scoring position for Flores.
Robinette does show bunt. Can't pull back in time as that one is in for a strike.
What are your thoughts on bunting, Dylan? I'm almost always anti the bunt. That's just my opinion. They're like just giving away an out, not what you want to do.
It just depends on who you got, the situation, but this one's coming home. Shows bunt again. But now when you're down 0-2, it's not a situation where you can bunt if you're Robinette.
Well, I don't like bunting him also because he's been on twice. RBI double, walk. Why are you taking the bat out of this guy's hand?
I mean, it's as an Oregon man, I've seen a lot of bunting. Mark Wasikowski, the head coach of Oregon, is a big fan of small ball. It works out sometimes. Runner goes. That one into right field. Going back.
Gotta get back.
Is Mertz, and he has to get back now. Will he be doubled up at first? No. So a scary situation. Immel did not see that one fully through. That will make the first out as Robinette with a loud fly out, and Immel surviving by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, Clayton and Aguirre tried to deke the runner Immel into thinking that the ball was hit on the ground because he was off with the pitch. But that's why you've got your first and third base coach and your bench and your players all yelling at you to get back, get back, get back to first when that happens. And a good job by Immel hustling over there to not get doubled off.
Communication from the squad helping him back, and that brings up Braden Flores now. He's in probably the biggest slump of his whole season.
Yeah.
That's saying something.
0 for 7 is a slump
0
for
for
Braden
7.
Flores.
He's just been on the top of his game, and it's something that these LMU Lions liking to see. This one going towards a Bermuda Triangle, and what a play! Eiji Sawamura diving, denying a single, and that's the second out.
What a play indeed. How about the catch in center field by Sawamura? Dead on sprint towards the ball, laying out full extension, and he makes the catch. And a tough play for the base runner, Immel, because you're kind of stuck in between there. You don't know whether it's going to drop or whether he's going to catch it, but does a great job getting back to first base. A couple of good tactical base running plays by Immel right there. But again, the highlight of that one, the catch by Sawamura in center.
So now moving to an 0 for 8 stint as Flores brings up Panarisi now, who's 0 for 3 on the day with a strikeout last time up. Takes that first pitch. It's a strike. It's 0-1.
Interesting thing that I want to mention is that typically it's been the top of the Saints order that has done the damage. Today it's been the middle and the bottom. So you got to give these guys credit as Panarisi and Flores have struggled. The bottom of the lineup picking them up. Talk about the day that Robinette's had, Dylan Immel with a couple of hits, and of course Evan Reiter in the 5-hole as well.
Absolutely. I mean, starting from Ryder and going down that 5 through 9 has been pretty lethal for the most part, and that's where the bulk of their runs, or rather all the runs, have come from. Panarisi looking to just continue passing the torch with a runner on first in Immel. 0-2. Panarisi swing and a miss. Second strikeout of the day, and back-to-back at-bats. And we'll head to the top of the 7th. It's still 5-5 here at Jackie Robinson. Top of the 7th is 5-5 here at Jackie Robinson. I'll pass it back to Max Langer to take us the rest of the way for 7-8-9.
Thanks very much, Dylan. Close game here at Jackie Robinson Field. All tied at 5 as we head to the top of the 7th and the 3-4-5 in the Barons order. Sanders, Delviar, and Williams. Probably the most dangerous segment of James Bishop's lineup coming up. Sanders, who's been on all 3 times, and then Delviar and Williams, who are atop many of the hitting statistical categories in the CCL on the year. They will face Vergara, who's back out there for the 2nd inning. A good first inning. After giving up the leadoff single to Tyler, he stranded him at 2nd and then 3rd base.
I think the biggest thing for, honestly, both of these pitching staffs today, and Vergara, just to talk about him, but no walks, really, or not many walks, just keeping everything over the plate, and that's what's led to a lot of home runs and, you know, base hits, but making everything playable and make the defense work for it.
Low 1-1. Barons got 3 in the top of the 1st, and another one in the top of the 2nd. They led the Saints 4-0, but Arroyo Seco bounced back. They got 2 in the bottom half of the inning. They got another one in the bottom of the 4th. And after the Barons got 1 in the top of the 5th, Saints tied it with a 2 spot in the bottom half of the inning. Take us to where we are. Fly ball into center field off the bat of Sanders. No big deal for Wynn, who's got it for out number 1 of the 7th.
Not just easy for Wynn. Just took 5 back pedals, and that means Sanders is out the first time he's back in the dugout after his at-bat today.
And for Vergara, in the 5 hitters he's faced so far, he's gotten 3 of them to fly out on what have been very easy fly balls for the outfielders to catch. 2 to Wynn in center and 1 to Panarisi in left. Delviar grounds one up the middle. To his left, Flores throws on the run and gets it. Nifty play from the Saints shortstop, and he retires Delviar quickly for out number 2.
Not just such a clean play from Braden Flores. I think that's the best way to just describe it. It was absolutely liquid. Going to first, is fielding to your left, and we've seen a couple, bounces here and there from Flores where he tries to overcomplicate the situation, but just sees himself through that one over to his left, and heck of a throw to first.
So here is Williams, 1 for 3 on the day. He's got 2 driven in. His 21st and 22nd runs of the year. Swings at the first pitch, up the middle. Diving attempt by Flores, but he can't make another great play, and it's into center field. Second hit of the day for Nathaniel Williams, a 2-out single here in the top of the 7th.
And Braden Flores did everything he could, and I mean, might be a little frustrated with that, but still gave a great dive to it, just above the glove it looked like. And that'll be a base runner against Vergara in the 7th.
So here is Elijah Clayton with a runner on first base and 2 outs. Clayton also 1 for 3, but a rocket of a double back in the 5th inning. Breaking ball right over the heart of the plate for strike 1 from Vergara. And he's new to this Saints team, but very impressed from what I've seen from Dylan Vergara, not just today, but so far on his season, and what he's been able to do on the mound. We talked about the Saints needing pitchers, and Vergara very much could be one of them.
Yeah, Daniel Vergara is just finding the zone. I think that's what you find from kind of the start of these pitchers today in Segovia and Vergara, just finding the zone, showing their best stuff within those parameters, and they get a lot of swings. Sometimes they find some fair ground, but other than that, I think there's a lot to be impressed with. Both of these guys newer to the organization, and they're kind of taking the reins.
Check over to first. Williams back very easily with the head first slide. 1-1. Inside ball 2. A delayed steal from Williams. Throw down. They got him. Camden Andrews throws out another. He gets Nathaniel Williams trying to snag second base, and Vergara faces the minimum in the 7th to the bottom half of the inning. Still tied at 5 in Pasadena. The legs have been stretched, and we are in the bottom half of the 7th. Saints looking to potentially take the lead after coming back from down 4-0 in the bottom of the 2nd inning. It will be Freer, Asperger, and Ryder, all 3 of whom have had great days at the plate today, against Galong back out there for the 2nd inning.
It's been this Hart going to the bottom that's been really good for the Saints, so Freer can start things off.
Freer lines the ball to center field. Salmore coming on, not going to get there. Leadoff base hit for Jacob Freer. He's been on 3 times tonight. His first hit here with the single to lead off the 7th. And the Saints have gotten the leadoff guy on for the 2nd consecutive inning.
Jacob Freer, have a day. Has reached 2 times, 1 via a walk and a hit by pitch. This one, a single. He just keeps on swinging well. Just such a consistent player that you just need in your lineup day in, day out. That's why he's DHing today, even though he's not playing the field.
All-star for a reason, and on here to start the 7th. Runner goes, throw down to second base. Nobody covered the bag, and Freer's in there safely. Wow, Clayton didn't immediately break for second when Freer took off, and it would have been much closer play if Clayton was already there, potentially even get Jacob Freer out, but he steals second base, and now the Saints have a runner in scoring position with nobody out. We saw what they did last time up when they had a runner on Robinette square to bunt, but this time they don't wait around and Jacob Freer swipes second base on the first pitch to Sean Asperger. It is 1-1 on Asperger, who's 2 for 3. He struck out in the first, but singles in the third and the fifth. After a slow start to his season, Asperger has really come on in the last week or 10 days. 1-1. Asperger flies it into center field. Should be playable for Salmore. Going back, Freer ready to tag. He will. Salmore's throw going in towards third base. It is in time. Eiji Sawamura, second consecutive inning with a fantastic defensive play. He guns down Jacob Freer trying to tag and take third base. And the Barons center fielder erases Jacob Freer here in the seventh.
What a play by Sawamura. Putting his hands up in center because he knows of that play he just made. I mean, he feels like he's on top of the world. Back-to-back innings, like you said, back-to-back fantastic plays. Erasing that runner, it's 2 outs now, and it's a whole different situation.
Galang getting some help from his defense here in the bottom of the seventh. Sawamura made the terrific diving catch in the bottom half of the sixth, and now he guns down Jacob Freer at third base for the second out of the seventh. And you like the aggressiveness from Freer right there. Try to get into third base with only 1 out, then a sac fly or a ground ball could potentially drive in the go-ahead run, but the cannon from Sawamura gets him at third, and the bases are erased. 1-1 to Ryder. Ground ball left side, but foul. Down the third base line and over towards the third base dugouts where the Saints are housed here at Jackie Robinson Field.
Have that home. Lovely little dugout as well. But about that Sawamura throw, I mean, you can't blame Freer for tagging on that. It's pretty routine, especially in the CCL, to tag deep center.
Ryder grounds one down the third base line and foul again. This one a little closer to the left field foul line, but it is foul.
You can't really blame Freer again for going on that. And again, routine, but Sawamura, he has one of the best cannons in center field in the entire league. Shows it right there.
Galang with the 1-2. Nope, now time is called. Not really sure why. I think there's a Saints coach who is retrieving something from left field. So the home plate and the first base umpire immediately raise their hands in the air to wait for him to get off the field.
I believe that's a friend of the broadcast, Joe O'Regan.
Oh,
Need
Joe.
to achieve something. And featuring on a couple player interviews, one of the guys that loves coming on.
Ground ball, left side. Clayton throwing from deep in the hole. It is not in time. Ryder beats it out on the back end. It's going to be a heck of a play if Elijah Clayton could do it. He's made a couple of really nice defensive plays at short already, but not this time. Ryder hustling down the line is on with 2 outs.
And that's a really tough one. Backhand, have to really whip it across the diamond. And again, we've seen Clayton do it time and time again. I mean, he's a premier shortstop for the Barons, but the runner reaches and Ryder, he's on yet again. We know he can do it in the base paths as well.
So a runner at first base and 2 outs for Wynn. Wonder if you'd see Ryder take off here, and Galang thinking the same thing. Disengages and Ryder dancing back to the bag at first. Wynn is 1 for 3, but the one part, a home run. It was a solo shot in the fourth that at the time cut the deficit from 4-2 to 4-3. And although the Barons would add on in the fifth, the Saints tied the game with a 2 spot in the home half. Line drive, left center field, that's down, a base hit. How fast can Evan Ryder run? Ball's to the wall. They are gonna send him. Ryder will score easily as the ball still on the warning track, cruises into home, and the Saints have taken the lead. Down 4-0, the Saints are on top 6-5. The second extra base hit of the day for Brandon Wynn, and he drives in Evan Ryder to give Arroyo Seco a 6-5 advantage in the seventh.
And this is what we knew was coming to Pasadena. Saw it earlier in the game, saw it in his first ever game as well in San Luis Obispo. But this guy came here to play. standing on second, bringing home another run. Like you said, we're down 4-0, comeback ongoing still. You have the lead, but need to maintain it. It's 6-5.
Still a runner at second base in scoring position. It's Wynn with the RBI double for Camden Andrews. Bends him out of the way of ball one as Galang fired the fastball up and in. And it's 1-0.
It's important for Galang. See if Sanders maybe has a talk of him soon, depending how this next pitch goes. Just calm down, kind of center yourself yet again. You know, I know you have a runner behind you, but still have 2 outs in this inning to kind of work with.
Saints, for yet another time this year, have come back from a multi-run deficit, down 4-0 in the second inning. They have taken a 6-5 lead here at home in Pasadena. The question, can they finish it off? 6 defensive outs away from securing what would be their 7th win on the season.
And we know what happened last time the Saints had a lead in Pasadena against the Barons. They scored 7 at the top of the 9th. So they know what could happen.
Andrews lines a 2-0 foul down the third base line. It was a meatball over the heart of the plate. Andrews put a good swing on it, but just out in front, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, that's one Cam's going to want back. I mean, I think a meatball just down Broadway, basically. If you can straighten that out, that's going to score Win, most likely going down the third base side.
Galang serving up the marinara Subway sandwich, but Andrews cannot keep it fair. So 6-5 Saints, a run in the bank here in the 7th. They lead the Barons 6-5. 2-1 in the dirt ball 3. Nice job behind the plate by Sanders, keeping it close and keeping Wynn at second base.
I was about to say, that's a great block from the catcher.
The 5 and 6 in the Saints order have been terrific today. A 3-hit day from Evan Ryder, including a home run and a robbery, and 2 extra base hits from Brandon Wynn. The home run and the RBI double to give the Saints a lead. Can Cam Andrews add on? He's 0 for 3. A 3-1. Andrews flies it to right field. Mertz on the run, should have room, and he's got it for out number 3. Andrews flies out to right to end the inning, but the Saints take the lead. The RBI double from Brandon Wynn, 6-5, Arroyo Seco to the 8th. No. Top of the 8th, 6-5 on top are the Saints as they've come back from a 4-0 deficit to take the 1-run lead here at home, looking to snap a mini 2-game losing streak. Lost the final game at SLO and, of course, the beatdown by the Foresters yesterday. But 6 defensive outs away from securing their second win of the season against the Barons. It'll be Daniel Vergara back out for the 8th. He's been great so far, and Aaron Milam going to push him here.
He might as well. He's throwing strikes. He's doing everything he needs to. Both of these guys, Segovia and Vergara, I said it last inning, but filling up the zone is exactly what you want.
It is Elijah Clayton to lead it off, and Vergara misses with the breaking ball, ball 1. Griffin Rogers has been the typical closer, but he pitched a lot yesterday. So how far would Vergara go? Just the 8th, or could they potentially look to complete the entire game with only 2 pitchers? Segovia the starter and Vergara out of the pen. Still a long way to go before we even get to that point, though.
Certainly some time, and we know what the CCL is capable of, so far from over and far from closing anyway.
Bouncer, left side, not going to be an easy play. Robinette gloves, throws on the run, got him! The speedy Clayton hustling down the line, but cool, calm, and collected. Bryce Robinette throws him out for out number 1 in the 8th.
What a job by Robinette. I think out of all the guys at the hot corner, he's been one of the sharpest defensively. Had a bit of a miscue in the first, but still gunning that man down on the run. That's what you want from your third baseman.
So 1 out and nobody on for Lujan, who is 0 for 3. Although he did hit a ball over the right field fence, that righter pulled back. Segovia's first pitch is swung on and missed, strike 1. Devilish breaking ball.
Out of his socks for that one. I mean, and that slider, it's a great pitch from Vergara. And usually, start him off the fastball, so when you see a breaking ball and you have that much power like Lujan, you just want to go after on that first pitch. See something slower.
Lujan 0 for 3. And this one did not hit him. Bounced in just inside the ankles. Came into the day batting .310 did Lujan, but yet to reach base in this one. Jackson Tyler is on deck, and after that it would be Chip Mertz, Sawamura, and Aguirre. So the Saints are going to have to face the top of the Barons lineup no matter what in order to get through the rest of this game. 1-1, swing and a miss, strike 2. The fastball up, and Lujan couldn't catch up, 1-2.
That's an ugly swing from Lujan. He just takes his full head off it, looks towards right field when the ball is about to get there. Needs to stay in his mechanics, just be shoring up and try to keep this going. 1-2 now.
Saints play it straight away defensively. Lujan digs it out, sends it to right center field on the run, and making a diving play is Wynn. Brandon Wynn, the game of his life. A home run, an RBI double, and now a terrific diving catch running to his left to rob Antonio Lujan. A sensational diving play in right center field to take away extra bases from Lujan. And for the second time today, a Saints outfielder has taken away an extra base hit from Antonio Lujan. 2 up and 2 down in the 8th.
Brandon Wynn, are you serious?
Are you kidding me, man?
Flashes the leather towards his left, full dive. He doesn't care.
Ground ball up the middle. Flores is there, bobbles, throws, gets him anyway. 1-2-3 in the 8th for Daniel Vergara. A nice play by Braden Flores at short. The Saints flashing the lever all over the infield and outfield defensively today. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Saints 3 defensive outs away from the win here in Pasadena. Saints on top, 6-5 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 8-9-1 coming up for Arroyo Seco as they'd love to get insurance before the top of the 9th inning. The question, how much will the lead be? One or more? They'll look to add on here against Matthew Kraus, a new arm for the Barons.
New arm indeed. 4 appearances on the year for Kraus. 8 innings pitched, 6.75 ERA, and that's really due to 1 blow-ups, relief appearance against Orange County June 16th. Last pitch versus the Saints in that 14-1 Barons win of 3 innings pitched, only 1 hit, 3 strikeouts. So he's pitched well against these Saints, but has a job to do here, limiting the damage and giving this team a chance.
Immel is 2 for 3. Couple of singles, fouls the first one off to the left and off of the screen. The Saints, after their worst defensive game of the year last night, have turned it around like that and are having their best defensive game of the year. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, it's funny how baseball works. I mean, sometimes you just have a day, you take it on the chin. It's all about how you regroup. In a game where you fail way more than you succeed, it's really about the mentality of rebounding, and they've done it well.
0-2, strike 3, right down the middle. And Immel, looking for something else, is out on 3 pitches. First strikeout, for Kraus as he gets Immel for out number 1 in the 8th. It'll bring up Bryce Robinette here with 1 out and nobody on. Robinette 1 for 2. He walked back in the 4th as well. Robinette from Parker, Colorado, has not had a year that he would have liked up to this point, but a great game so far today. The RBI double, checked his swing. Did he go to call at home plate? He did, and it's 1-1. Here's a 1-1. Robinette swings and misses. Great breaking ball out of the hand of Kraus, and it's 1-2.
And the stuff for Kraus it's just nasty. I mean, fastball, slider, changeup, but he uses all of the 3 of those pitches evenly. About 35 around that mark, 33 a clip. So you'll see all 3 featured.
1-2, ground ball to second, hit hard, but right at Aguirre, and it's off of him. Aguirre can't glove it. It was hit very hard, but right at Aguirre. It's a play he should make. We'll wait to see what the official scoring ruling is. But nonetheless, Robinette is on here with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th.
That might have been just too much to handle, so I could see that being scored a hit. I don't know.
He crunched it off the bat.
It's a very interesting kind of middle ground. I mean, it's coming at you at second, and, I mean,
I've scored an error. I think you got to make that play.
If it gets close to you, and Wilby scored a single for Robinette. I mean, it was a well-hit ball, so you might as well reward the hitter.
1 on and 1 out for Flores. Swinging at the first pitch, pops it up, foul off to the left and out of play. Kraus making his 5th appearance of the year for the Barons. You mentioned it. He likes to keep hitters guessing. 35% of the time, roughly, on each of the 3 pitches he features in his arsenal. 0-1 to Flores. Ground ball right side. Del Villar will go to second for the force, and that's all they'll get as Flores beats it out on the back end.
It's a great play by Del Villar as well. Sees it, able to turn it over to 2, but the speed of Braden Flores, it makes a play going 3 to second, back to first pretty difficult.
Flores now 0 for 5, and now mired in the longest slump of his season. 0 for his last 9 at the plate. It'll bring up Carson Panarisi, and you have to wonder if Flores would think about taking off for second base in this situation. Saints looking to get any insurance they can for the top of the 9th. And we think back to what happened on June the 12th. The Saints were up in the 9th by 5 runs against the Barons, and Compton came back. Saints would love to add on here in the bottom half of the 8th. 2 outs, Braden Flores at first base. And now 2-0 on Carson Panarisi. Let's get you caught up to where we are. 3-0 Barons had the lead in the first. It was 4-0 before the Saints scratched across 2 in the bottom of the third, 1 in the bottom of the fourth. Barons got 1 in the fifth. Saints got 2 in the bottom half, 5-5, and the Saints took the lead on the RBI double from Brandon Wynn in the bottom half of the seventh. Wynn made a sensational diving play
Yes,
in the
it was.
top of the eighth. Evan Ryder had a ball he took away from Antonio Lujan that was over the fence. The Saints have been all over the field defensively, and it's helped them get to this point, a 1-run lead here in the bottom of the eighth. Flores dancing off the bag, and Panarisi swings through the fastball, 2-2.
That's always the problem for Panarisi. Just cannot get the bat on the ball and leads the team in strikeouts. Now by 2, with 18 on the season. Could see that growing, but if Deuce is wild, he's hoping just to survive here and keep this at-bat going.
The top two in the Saints lineup have struggled, but the bottom half has picked them up. Ground ball left side, not going to be an easy play. Throw to first is in time. Another great play at third defensively by Nathaniel Williams, and Panarisi not sure about the call as he will head back to the dugout. Defensive clinic from both teams here today. We'll go to the ninth, 6-5, Saints on top. It is indeed Vergara for the top of the ninth. Aaron Milam riding with the guy that's got him here. And Vergara will try to shut the door against the 9-1-2 of the Barons lineup. Mertz, Sawamura, Aguirre. It'd be Nick Sanders if anybody reaches. First pitch to Mertz. Ground ball right side. Immel's got it. Throw to first. Out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for Vergara in the top of the ninth. Huge first out.
Absolutely massive. That's a way to get it. And I love this move from Milam and the Saints staff to keep Vergara in the game. He's just been so consistent, getting ground balls, weak contact. The defense behind him is performing well. And when the defense is in that rhythm with their pitcher, you got to keep him out there as well. Everything's firing on all cylinders with Vergara in these last couple innings.
1 out for Sawamura. Agee is 1 for 3 rather. He has reached twice. The hit by pitch in the fourth, and the leadoff double to begin the game. Barons would get 3 in the top of the first, but the Saints offense and pitching staff, Segovia and Vergara, have not given in. And Arroyo Seco on top 6-5. Sawamura still as a statue watches strike 1.
That was pretty funny to watch. Sawamura is just not phased whatsoever, standing there, holding his ground, but maybe waiting to unload.
1-1.
Such a methodical take from Sawamura.
Statuesque in the box is the Barons leadoff man.
It's very consistent, level-headed. He's had a great game.
Swing and a miss at the fastball, and it's 2-2.
I think it's just how he's using these pitches. I mean, has 2 pitches that he's going to every time, but the movement's fantastic. That high fastball is consistently navigating it at the top of the zone. That slider, that put-away pitch, which you might see right here, it's been nasty.
2-2. Vergara misses low, and the count runs full. We talked about a rough June. Saints looking to start a new chapter here in July, with only 1 game after this one until the All-Star break on the 4th. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Vergara to Sawamura. Ground ball, right side, and over the glove of Asperger. It is down into the right field corner. Getting the ball in quickly as Ryder to keep Sawamura at second base. The Barons leadoff man hit it hard, and unable to pick the ball at first base was Asperger. It took a wicked hop over his glove. It's done that a lot on the right side of the infield this season here at Jackie Robinson Field. And the Barons have the tying run in scoring position with 1 down in the 9th.
The Barons love the 9th inning at Jackie Robinson. Sawamura now on for Aguirre, who has some late game heroics, had a walk-off single versus the Riptide earlier this season. He's familiar.
Swing and a miss, 0-1. Aguirre goes after the fastball and can't catch up. It was just 3 weeks ago this Friday that the Saints blew a 10-5 9th inning lead against these Barons right here. Can Daniel Vergara finish the job this time? On an 0-1, Aguirre flies it to center field. Wind going over into right center field with the call and the catch. Not nearly deep enough, and Sawamura will stay at second. The Barons are down to their final out, and it's going to be the new guy, Nick Sanders, coming to the plate for James Bishop and the Barons. He has reached 3 times today and has 2 extra base hits, but for Daniel Vergara, only 1 out to go.
This is a spot that Nick Sanders is going to take a deep breath and just use what he's done this entire game. Only been out once, has reached the other 3 times, one of them being a home run, so we know what he can do with the bat. But Vergara is right now winning the battle versus Sanders for today. He needs to win this final one.
Outfield fairly shallow, trying to prevent any possible ball in the gap. Fly ball to center field. Wind going back. So is Ryder. Ryder stumbles, gets up, and makes the catch to end the ball game. Ryder nearly slips, but he gets back up and makes the play. And Daniel Vergara slams the door in the 9th. The Saints, who have struggled completing their signature comebacks all year long, come back from an early 4-0 deficit and pick up a huge win against Compton here in Pasadena.
What a weird play to end the game, but the Saints get it done. This finishing of the game that's plagued Arroyo Seco the entire season, they get this big win. Haven't been a lot of home wins, but they make this one count. 6-5 dub versus Academy. And we talked about it. The Saints, 2-game losing streak, losing last night in the worst way they have all season. This is response. This is what Milam wants from his team to get this win. And barring another one heading into All-Star break, the Saints are looking pretty good for a 5-day gap.
Aguirre gave it a ride, but Ryder, who made the game-saving robbery back in the 3rd inning, takes away what could have been a game-tying hit off the bat of Nick Sanders and makes the play to end the ball game. And the Saints' 2 pitchers in this game, Edwin Segovia and Daniel Vergara, combined to hold the Barons at 5 runs after giving up 4 in the first 1 1/3 inning. And the Saints, with their signature win of the year, they blew a 10-5 lead against these Barons about 3 weeks ago. And tonight, retribution for the Saints as they hold the 1-run advantage in the 9th, and Daniel Vergara finishes it off.
The pitching performance, I think, has to be talked about. Segovia had those runs early, but Vergara, he might be the hero of the game. You talk about Evan Ryder, also had an amazing day, win with defensive plays. I think it starts from the pitching from Vergara. I mean, a guy that's only pitched 2 innings prior to this game basically doubles his innings pitched today and comes out, throws strikes, gives the defense what they need to make amazing plays, which they did. Gave that security for the offense to go and do their thing. Vergara was locked in beyond all madness today. What a performance from him.
Dylan, it feels like so many times this year the Saints have gotten this close to winning, and Lucy has pulled the football away from Charlie Brown. This time, the Saints connect with the Laces and send it spiraling through the field goal uprights. The Saints come back from down 4-0. They beat the Barons 6-5, and they still trail 4 games behind Compton in the standings, but this is something that should hopefully get them some momentum moving into tomorrow, and then on the other side of the All-Star break through the rest of the year. That's going to do it for us here in Pasadena. For my broadcast partner, Dylan DeCesare, my name is Max Langer saying so long, as the Saints have defeated the Barons 6-5 in one of their biggest wins all season.